I had tried to meet other people's expectations my whole life. I was always doing things for other people, for their expectations, for what they wanted, not necessarily for what I wanted or for what God wanted. That worked for me for a while until one day I was working downtown and worked late one night. As I was leaving, going to the parking garage, was frankly accosted by two men, and I was right. It was just a devastating experience for me, and went home that night. And when my mom walked in and I told her about the rape, she said, "Let's never, ever tell anyone that this has happened, because what would people think?" That was kind of the mantra of my life growing up, was let's always put on the face and pretend everything's great, even when it's not, because what would people think? So that's what I did. Carlton and I got married in the fall, and everybody thought we were the ideal couple, and we just went along that way for a long time, and I think we kind of thought that too.
We thought we had a great marriage, and everybody else thought we did too. In fact, some people said we were the ideal couple or perfect couple. I had unrealistic expectations, both for marriage and for Joy as a wife. And she knocked herself out trying to not make mistakes.
I think it got to be too much. And one day I just said, enough of this. I'm gonna live for me. And right then the phone rang. And I leaned over and picked up the phone, and it was someone from my past. It was, in fact, my college boyfriend. He wanted to get together, visit, have lunch, and I knew better. But it made me feel good. I felt young and attractive, and there was just this entertainment in my head of sin. It kept on and on, you know, for another, I don't know, a couple of months, really. He was just very persistent until finally I did meet with them, and I did choose immorality. I can't say that I was trapped into this or anything. It was my choice. I blatantly made that choice. I was so miserable and could not stand how I felt. And I really thought, well, what I've done is just a little bit too bad for God.
It just basically destroyed me physically and emotionally. As a man, it made me feel like I was totally incomplete or not enough for her.
I so couldn't stand how I felt. I wanted to numb. And so I thought I could find a way that would take care of that. And I chose alcohol. And it did work. I will say it numbed me, but it created so many other problems. And honestly, I went from like 0 to 100 on that addiction scale practically overnight. What that looked like for me was 7 car wrecks, 5 times to rehab. Got to go to jail 2 different times for public intoxication. Got to spend a night each time in jail.
The hardest part of my life was taking Samuel to visit his mother in treatment and leaving the treatment center and seeing Joy and Samuel both crying and asking for each other, especially Samuel wanting his mother.
I was so scared. I was scared of living life without alcohol. I was scared that if I completely came clean with everything, that more people would turn away from me. I was just afraid of the consequences.
It was during that period that both of us began to really heal with God.
Throughout, God was calling me to himself, and he was saying, I love you with an everlasting love. You are in the palm of my hand. He never let go of me, never.
You know, that 7 or 8 year period that we went through all these problems helped us build a whole new relationship. We don't relate to each other the way we did before our problems. Now we relate as people that love God and then love each other.